Everyone, it's Epic Underworlds, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the future plans for my channel in 2025. So it's early morning, I just woke up, and I'm starting to work on some new pieces of art for the game. These two actually tie heavily into the lore, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So I know a lot of TCG creators make lore series, like video series, or write it down on a little document, but for my game, I want you guys to be able to have the card game itself, so each set will have a select few of artworks and cards that I choose from my vault of art I'm currently working on building. And then along with that, a set or maybe a few sets will have a novel or a novella. It's not going to be anything big. It's just going to be like maybe that big. And it's not going to be like a manga or anything. It's going to be actually like a book. So I'm going to be selling that on Amazon, and then you guys can get the cards. You can get the lore if you choose to with the book or the cards. Or you can get both, or you can just get one. So it's up to you how much you want to get enriched into this new world I'm creating, but that is kind of the plan. And the premise of the lore is basically this normal dude. It basically starts on Earth. He has a pretty traumatic past, and then he meets someone, and that doesn't go so well, and he's just kind of fed up, so he finds a letter that says, all you have to say is, take me to Dreamland, and he decides to do it, kind of like a no-clip into the back rooms, and he wakes up in Dreamland, and it's not quite what he expects. Then he's there for quite a long time, and at first he wants to escape, but then as he kind of descends more into madness and is realizing that Dreamland is actually the darkest parts of his subconscious, and he has to find kind of the core of it, he no longer wants to escape. So that's kind of the synopsis of the book. I'm really excited to write it. I'm already 10 pages in, and it's only been a few days, so I really like the idea of having two kind of separate mediums that gel together, books and card games, because I don't just want to put just like little bits of flavor text on the cards, because then that doesn't give you enough lore. Yeah, I'll still pull quotes from the book and put them onto the cards for flavor text, but if you want to get into the lore, you're pretty much going to want to buy the book, and it'll be in paperback. I'm actually, for the cover, I'm doing a painting in my painting class right now, and that'll be the cover if it turns out well, so I'm really excited to do that. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've actually been working on some new logos for my games. Right now I'm just showing you my sketchbook. I'm working on some new anatomy stuff, but basically that new logo that I was working on in my channel, it was hand-drawn, so I really like the idea of making a hand-drawn logo because most of my art's going to be hand-drawn. But it also doesn't look crazy, so I may be remastering it, either hand-drawn again, or possibly doing it digitally, or even hiring someone. But yeah, I do want to create a really solid new logo for the game and just the channel this year. So expect a new logo change. It'll still pretty much be blue and gray because I kind of really like those colors, but I want it to also have the possibility to be black and white because I think that's a really good, just recognizable thing for most brands. But yeah, I know I do most of my art on these kind of big sheets of paper and put them in my binder, but I've actually started getting into drawing in the sketchbooks. This was my first piece in the sketchbook. I actually don't like how it turned out. I think it could be a lot better, but I am going to be starting doing some art in the sketchbook like I was showing you guys earlier with these two pieces. For some reason the paper isn't as smooth, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, so that's kind of the process I'm going through right now. I know this is more of a vlog type video, but some of you guys said you like those, so you guys can listen to this sort of like a podcast. Also, if you've been checking up on my channel recently, I've been releasing some sort of strange videos. I released one called Escape from Reality and then one called Trapped in Dreamland, and those are kind of trailers for the game itself. So I hope you guys really enjoy those because they are really fun to make. And also, I just finished the card back. If this doesn't look too well on the Game Crafter, I'll probably remake it, but this is pretty much the first draft of it. Here's some more art I'm working on. These are more lore-heavy pieces. So right now, when I first started this binder, I was just making a bunch of art for a card game. I didn't really know exactly what, except that I wanted to take place in some sort of dreamland. Now that I have a story, I really want the first set to have a lot of artworks that relate to the story. So I think the first part of it will be all story bits, and then, for example, when you get into Dreamland, I'll just use all of these because these are just random creatures in the Dreamland. So I think that'll actually work really well. And then any artworks I don't use, I can always pop into future sets or use for other games. I actually just recently got some solo games from the Game Crafter. These were designed by Jason Glover, and he's a really awesome solo game designer. And I do want to do some playthroughs of these, and if I get inspired, I may or may not try making my own solo game. I've tried making them in the past, but they were mainly solo RPGs, so this might inspire me to make actually a solo card game, although it definitely would not be similar to his games because I don't want to rip him off, but they'll definitely take place in Dreamland, and they'll have... I'm just going to be trying, if I do make a solo game, it's going to be something unlike any other solo game I've seen before, because I only really now want to design games that are completely unique and different, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about too. This video isn't just a future plans video, it's also, some future inspiration for you guys. So when you're making a game, you also got to ask yourself, why are you making the game? Because anyone can make a game that is similar to another and call it your own, but it's really, really challenging to make something that the world's never seen before, and a game that actually works. And I know that it can be scary at first, and it'll probably take a lot more, thought and play testing. But if you guys pull off a unique game design really well, it'll stand out so much in the community for TCGs or just any game in general, because it'll be like unlike any other game out there. It's like when this guy who wrote, Kentaro Miura, wrote and drew Berserk. He kind of just went all out on it. He didn't really care what others thought about his story. And because it's so raw and there's no holding back, it was so popular. So that's also a good thing that you guys shouldn't do. Don't hold back in your art. If you want to draw something that you've always wanted to draw it. If you want to write a book that you've always wanted to write, do it. And don't be afraid to release it because you're scared of what others think. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. And if you like it, then there's a good chance that a lot of other people like it. But if you're not happy with it and you think you're holding back, then maybe the readers will think you're also holding back. So just really go all out and create a game that you really want to create. So yeah, that was this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.